Like that? Well, my name's Steve Schmidt. I'm the program's chairman, and I'm going to walk around and introduce you to the various artists and people on display. And one of the gentlemen on display is Mr. William McKenzie.
William McKenzie.
I might say a few words.
I don't know if I met you.
No, Mr. McKenzie, you built my house. It's falling down.
I know I haven't met you. Yeah, that's the case.
Yep.
But anyway, I am happy to be here.
You had a horse.
You know, I came from Scotland.
Right.
I came from Scotland, and I came here at 14 years of age. And that was 1884. Arrived here. We moved to a place called Tiffin, Ohio, up north up here. And we my father was into the stonework, built their county courthouse up there, and then we eventually got into horses. I had horses that we pulled. My father had the farm, and I would have these horses, these teams, 3 teams of them, pull logs into the city of Tiffin, which was about 10 miles away, and that got me into the log and the wood business. So I've been in the wood business, but I've been in other things too. The incubator company, had some farms around, the People's Building.
You had the shoe factory too, right?
Oh yes, over there too. You know all about that, huh?
Yep.
You don't look that old. I don't know how you can remember all that. But I can say though that when we got the horses, and we got this horse right here by the name of Prince Mac. You see, we had a farm up there on Quarry Road, north of the city, and Prince Mac was a winner. He had 12 races this one year. Out of the 12, he had 6 firsts, 4 seconds, 1 fourth on that one year. Oh, wow. He was amazing, that horse.
Made some money.
Oh, yes, indeed. You know, we kept track of all that. And but anyway, we've had a great career around here, and it's been great being here in Delaware. And somebody dropped off these pictures here just a minute ago. I have no idea who they are. They said some Marilyn Evans or something.
Oh, and, I think she's speaking tonight.
She's speaking tonight?
She's speaking tonight.
More about her then.
Okay.
But she had a horse there. But anyway, that's who I am.
Well, thanks, Mr. McKenzie.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you. Well, we're going to meet some of the artists next.
Well, they're far ahead of me. They're artists.
It was good talking to you. We're going to go take a look at the horseshoes. So this is a collection of horseshoes that is owned by Mr. Bob Gersbacher, and his father started the collection, and it has a wide variety of shoes for horses and mules, copper horseshoes for mules that worked in explosives factories that wouldn't spark and set off an explosion, draft horses. They have horseshoes that have cleats for, they were cutting ice in the wintertime, and they would have horses on the ice pulling the blocks of ice out. Shoes are designed for heavy mud.
All right. How you doing? I'm Dave Groff. It's a pleasure being here tonight, showing some of my work. The paintings that I'm showing tonight are a series of works that I've worked on over the last 3 years.
Okay.
And I'm starting a whole new series of paintings on the Old West and cowgirls and all that type of thing. So maybe we'll do a show of that sometime.
Okay.
So, but yeah, my inspiration comes from any type of different things. Watching old movies, finding just great pictures, and that's about it. That's one of my paintings there. Painting just on the other side of this is probably my most recent, and it's called In Living Color. Okay. And I have 7 or 8 paintings that are in the show, and excited to be here.
Great.
Right.
Thank you.
You bet.
Right. So who's next? This is
All right.
Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Debra Rosario, and I'm a still life painter normally, and I do a lot of vintage objects. So I have my painting is of it's, this one here with it's a vintage ride-on horse,
Carousel? Or,
the ride-on toy horse for
okay,
children.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was a carousel horse when I saw it, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Rocking horse?
A little. It actually has little caster wheels. So like
really?
for the child to, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's from a designer that worked here in Ohio, up in Akron at the Sun Rubber Company. Edward Mobley was his name, and he did a lot of horses, a lot of animals and things like that. So I usually paint still life paintings that have vintage objects in them, and some a little playful, and I paint very texturally with palette knives and
Okay.
yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks.
I'm not a horse owner, but I love them as objects of art. I mean, they're full of energy, movement, color, and that's what I look for in art. I do equine art, I do wildlife art, and a lot of portraiture. That's what's kind of around the corner there.
And how long have you been painting?
At least 30 years, I don't want to think.
Uh-huh. And do you do it on site, or do you take photo? Is it from your mind or photographs?
Both, all of the above. That's from my mind.
This one's from
This
your
was a
mind.
photo that I took of horses that live nearby me. This,
And where do you
this
live,
is all
Meredith?
that's all me. There.
That's all
just
you?
fine. This is done with pastel on the end of a 36-inch stick. So you're standing back like this, and you can't control it, and that's how it gets its energy.
Well, thank you. I can't think of
Thank
any.
you.
What other questions do you
Okay,
have?
thanks. Well, that was Meredith Martin. So,
Thank you very much.
okay. Thank you. It's, there she's Diane's ready. All right. They cornered Diane. Okay. Well, you want to just hold the mic if you want.
Okay, my name's Diane Hodges. I have had horses my whole life. I've loved horses my whole life, and so this is kind of a way that I keep connected with them. The story with the horses is I am the director of the Arts Castle here in Delaware, and about 7 years ago we had 4 life-size topiary horses that Jim Mason had created, donated to the Arts Castle, and they're out in front, and I love them. But I don't weld, and I didn't want to make anything that big, so I went out in my backyard and I started gathering vine and grapevine and branches and making the horses. This is actually old fence board from my fences. This is pieces of bark from my footing in my arena, okay? So I try to keep it as natural as I can. Each horse, I mean, I can't tell you, sometimes it's just a key piece, like, okay, I see that as a neck, so I started working with that. And they just kind of unfold. It's like a puzzle for me that I really enjoy doing. This is ivy, Old English ivy that is a lot of fun to work with. It really twists and turns, and that really can give a lot of movement to the horses. But you can tell this is straight, or this is ash and maple. That there again, you get a more straight looking horse, I guess you'd say. But they're all very different, and that's my horse. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. And I mean, I don't think a horse really could do this, but I really like the gesture, okay?
Yeah.
And I've got another horse over there that uh, it's a horse I actually had, and he would stand when I had him in cross ties, and he would paw, okay? So I found a stick that looked like it was his front leg that looked like it was pawing. So yeah. So yeah, it's I enjoyed it a lot, and that's my story.
Thanks, Diane. I think we've met the other three artists, and been to the horseshoes. I think we're going to move on down to some of the displays. Thank you, Diane. So we're going to go down. We've got several people that brought interesting displays that are equine related. As you can see from the crowd, this is one of the largest programs. It's by far the largest I've been involved in. So Ethan's showing you some of the display here. She brought different kinds of saddles, a Western saddle, an English saddle for like dressage saddle, and then a side saddle that Ethan will show you in a second here. Hi. All right. So we'll let you meet Nancy Clatworthy in just a moment. Can we interrupt for a minute? We wanted to get Nancy on video a little bit. she'll be here all night.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
Please want to introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your.
I'm Nancy Krieger. I'm the daughter of Nancy Moore Clatworthy, who's been showing since the early 20s, and kept showing. These are some young pictures. She was featured on Time Life magazine in the 40s, and was a big competitor. When she moved to Delaware County, her dream was to get back into horses, and she bought a couple of broodmares from Mrs. Sharp's dispersal sale. One of them was King's Joy, who was the dam of Gala Affair, who went on to be a world champion and bred a number of world champions. We had the stallion, a Grand Affair, who is, anyway, he's on this picture, which is up there somewhere. That's our stallion, a Grand Affair. He went on, so both Gala and a Grand Affair bred champions. So they're a huge legacy in the saddlebred world. And my mom just had a gift for the breeding and studying bloodlines, and I put a few up here. And she was also an artist. She judged horse shows. She was a teacher. She taught equitation classes. She was just all around. It's hard to talk about horses in Delaware County without talking about Nancy Clatworthy. So that's kind of the quick version. She's a breeder, artist, competitor, teacher, judge, and lover of horses. So I could go on and on for hours about my mom and her achievements in the horse world. We brought a few saddles. We had a ranch in Wyoming, so this is a working saddle that came from the ranch. So forgive all the dirt. So this is a Western saddle. A lot of the parts, this would be for your bedroll. These would be to tie your rope for roping calves. This is the English flat saddle, which is what we would use to compete in horse shows. You'd see it in the pictures up there. We call it a flat saddle because it differs from the other English saddle, which is a dressage saddle. We don't, in the equitation, we don't have the knee pad. Because part of the equitation classes, they would judge you on if you could sit the saddle well and your leg wouldn't move. So if you could see daylight between your knee and the saddle, that would ding you in an equitation class. So yeah, that's the English flat saddle. The side saddle, it's sort of self-explanatory. You'd see them a lot in the hunting shows and movies where women would ride the saddle, even going over jumps, they would sit side saddle. And they just had an ability to, it's all about balance. And this is Diane Hodges' dressage saddle. So here are the parts, but she has the knee roll, and that's to help just keep the contact and the steadiness of the horse. So yeah, Diane was going to come over at some point and discuss the dressage saddle in more detail, but so that's sort of the quick version. These are a couple of my mom's sculptures, a couple of trophies, and feel free to take a flyer.
All right, great. Thanks. Thanks, Nancy.
An art piece I commissioned for the Arts Castle. Well, I commissioned it for my mom, but it's on loan to the Arts Castle. It's those metal horses. It's by Jim Mason, who did the Topiary Park in Columbus.
Okay.
So that's, Diane asked to show them at the Arts Castle yard, and that's where they are. So she said that inspired her stick horses with that armature structure.
Great.
So
Thanks, Nancy.
great, thanks.
Maggie put this together for all the different kinds of horse farms we had here in Delaware County. Draft horses, standard breds, thoroughbreds, and saddlebred farms. Something to say, Delaware is famous for standard breds, but we had many other breeds here. We have the RB Powers Company up in Ashley that made ribbons. We have a number of examples of their ribbons here. The All Horse Parade, which is coming up next Sunday. Should be a fun time. And we had the 4-H clubs here, and what's the Delaware Community, used to be the vocational school. The Delaware County Career Center, that's what it is. They have a display here that they brought in. So we have an FFA chapter there. And then this was Montgomery Boy, was a horse from the White Star Farm. And they have some information here about the White Star Farm, which is down south of Delaware. I believe that's where Groff is now located, the packaging company. Let's go over. We're going to go over Diane Winter's All Wind Stables. She brought a number of photographs, and she's going to be one of our speakers tonight. And these are some examples up here of the ribbons from the Powers Company up in Ashley. There's a beautiful picture of Diane here as an outrider. This photograph, she said, was Fred Stone inscribed this photograph to Diane.
Hi, I'm Michelle Hoffner. I'm a semi-retired shipping and receiving manager for Equus Now, one of our tack shops in the Columbus metro area. And I thought I'd give you a quick demonstration on saddles. This is a classic Western cowboy saddle. The horn is designed for roping cattle. And the seat is wide. You have a wide twist. And you have fenders instead of stirrup leathers. So the rider is kind of locked into a stationary position on the saddle. There's not a lot of movement available to the rider. This is an English saddle, specifically called a cutback with this U shape here, or a lane fox. It's designed for riding high-stepping, forward-moving horses. What this does, it sits a little further back on the horse's back, and it enables the horse's front end to move freely. So the comfort is designed for the horse as opposed to the rider. If a rider can competently ride a horse at walk, trot, and canter in this type of saddle, they can ride anything. They can do almost any equestrian discipline, such as polo or fox hunting, if they have mastery of this particular seat. Now this is another English saddle. This is called a dressage saddle, and it has the rider in an upright position with blocks to lock their legs into position. As they're not going to be jumping, they're going to be doing flat work. The dressage saddle has its origins in European cavalry tradition. So a lot of police-type saddles are of this type. So that's a dressage saddle. And this is a side saddle. And generally one thinks a poor woman has to balance herself like in a saddle like this with legs like that. But no, the legs are separated. The right leg goes over this pad here, and the rider is literally locked in position and can't move. Hence, back when women had to ride side saddle, they had to ride horses that were impeccably trained and beginner safe. So that's the explanation of our different saddles. And if you'd like, you can always visit our website at equusnow.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think we've seen just about everything that's here at the show. We still got